It was very hard to be in the United States, not only because I was homeless and have no money, but also that I couldn't leave the United States because I have no money to buy a ticket home, and I was there. I think that most sad thing was that my daughter was confirmed in the Swedish church, and that's a tradition thing, and that's one of the highlights in a person's life. It doesn't matter today because she is not in that kind of church anymore, but in that time was it very bad. And I was not thinking about that she should soon be have her confirmation in the church in the next summer. I left her in December 18 on my anniversary day. I didn't know that either because I was not with my brain on earth when I left, and I married December 18, 1998, this man in Texas, and I left December 18, 2 years later, and I didn't know that. I come to know it later on, and but the hardest was that I was not there in Sweden when my daughter had one of the greatest day in her life. It's almost like I was not there for her wedding. It's about the same thing, and I understand that if she didn't understood what was going on when Jesus Christ was standing in the room, I don't know, because she don't want to talk about it. So I don't know how much she saw and heard of it. I know that she heard me talking, but she must have understood it was someone I was talking to in the room, even if she didn't see anything, or she maybe not heard them talking to me, but she heard me talking because she, after when Jesus Christ was gone and God was gone and all the spirits was gone from our home, she come to me and she was crying, and she said to me, why did they talk to you only? Why didn't they talk to me? So something did she picked up. But later on, many years later, I understood that she never heard God talking. He was talking to me, but he was not talking to her. And maybe she didn't see Jesus Christ in the room either. She heard me talking, but she must have understood I'm talking to someone. I didn't talk to out in the air only, with nothing there. Because she asked, why didn't they talk to me. So something, she knew that I was talking to some spirits that she couldn't see, but she heard me talking to them. It's very strange, and I was thinking that she understood me, that I left, because I thought she had heard everything that we were talking about, Jesus Christ and then God. But she didn't. And that's make it so hard on her, because she don't understand why I left everything, why I left her, and why I left Sweden. And I didn't know that before, many years later, when I have coming back to Sweden. And I have asked her if she could forgive me for leaving her. And she said that she forgave me, but I don't think she have and will never forgive if she don't understand why I left. But she believes in Jesus and Jesus Christ the same. Jesus and Jesus Christ is the same for her. She is this ordinary believer in Christianity, that Jesus is God and Jesus is the same as Jesus Christ. But if you have heard me talking, you have heard that's not for me. I have 3 different. That's the God is the one that I have never seen him here on earth. I have been up to heaven and I have seen him, but on earth I have never seen him, and no one have seen him. We can only see him in the spirit, and there is a difference, and Jesus is not the same as Jesus Christ, because Jesus is the one that show up and is in his 30s, when Jesus Christ is the one with white beard and white hair. But for her it's the same everything. They are one, every one of them. There is no difference. So she can never understand it if she don't come to understand this. But she is in a church and they don't teach people like that. They teach in a very strict sect-like belief that Jesus is God, and they pray to Jesus as God. And so today I know that it's no idea to talk to these people that have this stubborn thinking that Jesus is the same as God. So that's so wide gap between us. So they will never understand it. And my daughter is in such a church, so I think she never ever will understand before she's coming to heaven. And she realized that. But here on earth I never think she will understand why I left. That was nothing that I wanted. But I have no choice. Either go and make a suicide or else leaving. And they make it. Those spirit that was in home to me, they make me to only know I was I have to buy a flight ticket and fly to United States and leaving my daughter to her father and leaving my husband. My husband was not the father of my daughter, so he really was left behind, because it was not only me leaving him, but also my daughter left him to be with her father. And so it was, I cry very much when it come to these holidays, my daughter's birthday and Christmas and this confirmation. And it was very, very hard to be away from Sweden and her. And but I have to. I have no choice. I couldn't. I had no money, so I couldn't. And when I come to this Muslim home where I was staying 1 year, I have an address and telephone number, but the Swedish ambassador in New York, they didn't want to give me a flight ticket home. So I could only stay in United States until God was telling me to fly home. And this was, I come out from this house where they have this beaver in the bathroom and those Doberman Pinscher dogs that was have got the order to kill me. And I come to this woman that was in the car. I got the bed in her home, and I didn't know. I was thinking she was a normal woman, but she was not normal. She was crazy. She was really crazy. And the first I come to know, it was that she every money she got, she had no job, so she had not much money. I suppose that she, like everyone else in the United States, when they have no job, they try to get a retirement for being crazy, to mental sick, because she was healthy in her body, so it must be mental issues on her. And they were not poor, these people that doesn't work in United States. Everyone want to have this mental retirement. At least in that time, for 20 years ago, they say to me they got between $600 and $800 per month to live on. And in that time, I could rent a room. The cheapest room was $75 per month. So that was much money they could have. They didn't need to be homeless because they could have rent a room, but they wanted to spend the money on other things, drinking and drugs, and they were also brainwashed to think like I was on my way to be the same thinking. I was thinking that I can manage my homelessness. I can manage it. I know where to go to get clothes. I know where to go get food. I know there is shelter I can go into. So it be like a lifestyle, and they didn't want to to rent a room and be a normal person. They want to be homeless, many of them that I was talking to. And so she had a man that she liked, and she wanted to get him. And she was a real crazy admirer of a man, and every money she got, she go to a thrift store, a store with second-hand clothes. She go there and bought clothes to him, special shoes, and she was not allowed to come into his home because he knew she was crazy. So she had the clothes, she let them outside his store and left there. So she didn't even ring the bell. She only left it there with maybe a paper in it that she gave it to him. And when she saw him when we were driving in her car, she was just only focused on him. We were going to somewhere else, but when she saw his car, she had to drive after him. And then she taught me how to go and pick up trash and wash them and then go and sell them. So that's how she did extra money. And she taught me that we should go to not the wealthy people's area, because there was nothing to pick, because they did never gave away nice things, real trash, and other people was there already before us to pick if there was something. Instead, she said the best to go to is those in the middle class. There is the best clothes and things to pick up. So we go there in those black plastic bags and in the trash that was on the street in front of the houses. And sometimes people go angry at us that we did that. And then we go home, and sometimes she don't look in the bags. She only put it inside the car and we drive away. And then we come home and she wash everything in the wash machine. And some of the clothes she took aside because it was for him that she admired. And that she hunting and stalking. And then she was selling those other clothes and things she find. And then she go in the morning to sell donuts from house to house in their car. And then the morning in September 11, 2001, we were sitting and eating breakfast, and I was out in the kitchen and get me some tea sandwich when she called for me and screaming that come Eva and see what's happened. Watch television. Look what's happened. And I come and I saw an airplane flying into the Twin Tower in New York, and that's a question I will ever have. How could the television be so fast on its place? I understand that this can be camera that is on the streets, but how can those camera that watch the streets, that police watch the traffic, could find the Twin Towers that is very high up? And but that answer I will never get. And I come and saw this flight, and I thought it was they repeat the same situation. And this woman, she's screaming, "No, it's not a repeat of it. It's a second airplane that flying in," she say. So she had seen everything. It was live broadcasting from the place in New York, and then she said that I need to go and call a friend I have, that her husband is flying those airplane, and he is flying between New York and Los Angeles. And she called, and she come back from and told me that I can't believe it. My friend, she said that her husband didn't fly that flight because it was her birthday, and so her husband surprised her to come home in the morning and surprise her on her birthday, and he have switched. He have asked someone else to fly those airplane, and one of this was one of the airplane that was going into the Twin Tower. So they had 4 kids, and the 4 kids could have been losing their father if it wasn't her birthday, September 11. And this kind of things is what people are talking about, those miracle, that people that always come in time for their job in the Twin Towers, they slept over. They were late to their job, and they survived. And some say that their clock, the alarm clock, didn't go on, and so they were sleeping when it's happened. So they never come to their job, and so it was this, and then my daughter, she have heard. She have watched the television in the morning, and she she have heard about this terror attack on the Twin Towers in New York. So she called me because I have a telephone where I were staying, so she could call me and talk to me, and this woman, she have like a spy telephone, so she could see that my daughter was calling me, and me like I was polite, or I couldn't switch to Swedish when she called me. So, and my daughter could speak perfect English, so I didn't need to speak Swedish. So I speak English to her, for this woman to hear what we were talking about. And then this woman said, "Are your daughter in Chicago?" She said. No, she called from Sweden. And this woman, she didn't believe, because she see on her telephone displayed that it was 46 in the beginning, and that's for Chicago. But 46 is also our country number in Sweden. But she never thought my daughter was in Sweden. She thought that I had something to do with this terror attack. You hear how crazy she was. And so she started to not want me to be in her home. So she started to be very angry and evil, and I didn't could eat in her home. She don't share any food for me, and so I called this pastor that have coming and get me in that house where the beaver was. And I say I call her and I say, this woman is crazy and she's so evil at me. I need to go away from here. And I didn't know that this woman had recording what I say in the telephone. So she would go really mad, and I couldn't stay there. And she was over me and screaming at me, and when she was over me, and I thought she should hit me and maybe do more worse. I was talking to God inside me, and I said, must help me. I must go from here. I can't stay here. And the pastor, she didn't want to help me. She thought I could manage it. And she didn't know how hard it was, so evil it was. And I sit and ask God to help me. And it took only about 15-20 minutes from when I was praying until it was a big noise in the door. And in come one of her son, come and fall on the floor, and he was very, very drunk. And he said that his girlfriend, fiancé, have threw him out, kick him out from their home. And he had been drinking the whole way to his mother's home. So she gets something else to think about. So I had some days there that was her son, and she said that my son need to have this bed, but she had another son in the same house, so her drunk son said he could sleep in his brother's home instead. So I got some days there that she was taking care of her son that was crying so much, and I called for a shelter to ask for a bed in a shelter, and when she was out and was selling donuts, I was calling because I was in Norfolk area in Virginia, and so I call because I have seen on television that there is a program that's on Wavy television in Hampton Roads television that Waves, I think his name is Wave on Your Side. On Your Side, people could call in to the television and ask for help. So I called, and there was a woman, her name was Sherita Wilson, and I talked to her. I talked to her first time I talked when I come to this home, and everything was okay, but I knew that I couldn't stay for a long time there, and so I started to tell this woman at the television about what I'm going through, and she was interested of what I was saying, told her. So she called me up many days, and I got to tell her the story of my life when coming to United States. Of course, I say that Jesus Christ was standing in my home and God was talking to me from the air, and she said to me, either is it an amazing story you're telling me, or you must be the world's best liar, the best liars in the world. So I don't took it as negative, because that was almost impossible to be the world's most liar. So I took it positive, and we were still talking, but when the September 11 come, everyone that was on that television station, they were going to New York, and that's, I don't think so bad the whole time, but sometimes I'm thinking that could it happen this crazy thing, is terror attack, happened to stop me from talking to the television to this woman that believed me and was on her way to start to do something big for me. Was it that? And because it was when I was in Chicago, it was the power plant was stopped, and it have never stopped in those 25 years that Larry had working in 25 years, and they have never had any stop in the power plant. And that's for me to could call him that night when he was home and waiting to go back to his job, that God could do such things. And the same with the devil also, that big things can happen to stop us. And but I don't think it's like only me, because that changed many people's life in that movement. That when the terror attack was, many people's life changed. So I don't think like it's only me, but it was in the same time, and it's it have been many times something big have happened in the same time. I needed help and maybe be stopped, and I know I maybe have not talking about this when I come with a flight and the engine on the airplane stopped, so we go down in the air like I was in an elevator, was it like, and the airplane was almost going down and crash, but God helped us. And so many amazing things, so crazy things have happened in my walk. So I'm wondering if something was going on there with the terror attack that have with me to do also, to stop me. Because what's one thing that happened with a terror attack, it was that I couldn't get my work permit in the United States. I was applying to stay and live in the United States. And when the terrorist attack come, they have no time to do my application. So I have to wait 2 years, and I was still waiting for them to say yes to my application to stay in the United States. But I left the United States without knowing if I could stay or not, because I needed to go home. But the application should only be for 1 year, and then I should know if I could stay or I have to leave United States. But now when the terrorist attack, it was more than 3 years to wait. So it was a delay also, because I was coming into to United States as priority number one because my education, that they knew that I should be working and earn much money in the United States, that I should not go homeless there in the United States if I got all the papers that I needed to have. But the terror attack make me have to wait, so it hit my body, because all these frightened things that I was into, it killed me slowly inside the body. And first I got psoriasis in my head when I come to United States, because of everything that happened before I left Sweden, when the devil hunted me so much. And I find out that my husband had AIDS, and I could have had AIDS in me and be killed in that time. And all the stress make me get psoriasis. And I knew that it was the stress that did because when you be so frightened, like you think that someone is going to kill you, and for a long time, then it's like the body, the brain and the body make blood running out in the arms and the legs for you to run away, to fly from escape from the situation. So that caused my pancreas to be bad, because the blood, I have a little blood. I didn't have so much blood as I was homeless also, and had no real food to eat. And when be so scared, my pancreas didn't get the blood it needed to have, and all the organs inside me have not this blood, because the blood was on its way to be in my legs and in my arms to escape every dangerous situation. And that's what to be so scared make you hurt people, make damage inside a person. And that's what's caused today also with the coronavirus, that the organ collapse is because not only about the virus, but also not only for the infection, but also that the people are so scared when they can't breathe. So the blood is going out to the legs and arms without they have done anything, but the brain say, run away from this dangerous situation. And that's why I think it's fun to know this, because Muslims, when they do this slaughter, when they kill animals and eat them, and they take out the blood from the animal, cut them in the neck and let the blood running out from the body. That's so crazy, because that make the animal go in this situation, so the blood is going out into the wings and out on the side of the body to run, to fly away from, escape this situation. I know that. I have confirmed it, because when I live with the Muslim people, they drive to New York and bought this kind of meat that is done in a holy way to not eat the animal's blood. But I think I didn't like the chicken that was made in that way, because the meat tasted so much blood. It tasted so much iron in it because of all the blood that was in the meat. And they don't understand this halal slaughter, and there is other religions that do the same thing, for not to eat the blood of the animal. And then it's the opposite. It's when we only kill like the normal for us, Western people, is that blood is still inside, going around the heart and organs and stay there. So our chicken doesn't taste the same as halal chicken. So I have come into this part where I'm soon going to talk about the Muslims, when I live with the Muslim people, and it happened after the terror attack, because no one wanted to work for Muslims, and the Muslims people didn't want American people to know about what they were doing, and it was scary to be in that area where everyone knew someone that had been killed in New York. So that it was very much hate, and I will talk a little about that also next time, if something not coming up. It's if I wait now, and I do, because I respect these spirits that always coming through. So that it's someone here. I don't know where I trigger this to come. I don't know what it is going to say. So it's a man coming, and he's very tall. And he said that he was in this. So that's where he's coming from. He was in New York in that time. He tried to help people inside the Twin Tower. And he showing me that he was in the stairs, and he hold his hand out in the air and to let people take his hand and come up from where the stairs was on their way to break, but he was up where he was safe, and he took his hand down to catch them, and he's sad about it because they never could make it. The stairs break just under him, and they fall. And he was also trapped in it. And he had this. Oh, what can I say? I don't know the English word for to have this hair on the side, like a bird, hairy on the side. He had very much significant for him. He had very, very brush, like a brush, on in front of his ears, and now he have golden eyeglasses. He's showing me that he was sitting there in the stair, and I see that he have some like a classic hunting uniform style. Is this with a brown leather on the elbows, have brown leather, and the collar is in brown leather also, and then it's fit the fiber at the uniform, and I don't know what it means, but he's showing me that, and he said, "You should know," he's saying, "now he have a message for you that have been in the same situation, have lost someone, that in that way that they are falling down into fire from a high level and into their death. It doesn't need to be fire. They can be falling down in water or crashed in the airplane accident and this. But when they start to realize, he said, that they are going to die, you should know how short time there is when they realize and they go, the brain stop working of fear. They fear so much, so the brain is stop working. And I was thinking that must have been for you also. So he say that was for me. That's why I say it, because I know how it was when I fall. That is not that you fall the whole way and you're thinking that I must find something to grab in or something to do when I come into the bottom. It's not like that, because the brain is stopped when you realize there is nothing that can help you. You're falling to your death. So it's not so scaring. He wanted to tell that they have not felt anything. They don't feel anything when they hit the ground, because the brain is already dead. it's the mercy of God, he say. It's the mercy of God that the brain be cut off. So the death moment is when they realize there is nothing that can stop them from falling. So he wanted to say that for you to that have these relatives, families or friends that have been in this accident, that it takes not many seconds before the brain is out, so they don't feel anything or can think anything. That's what he wanted to tell. So I thank you for telling us that. That's help many people that going to listen at this episode and my podcast, not only today but in the future, many years from now. I hope that people listen to this. So thank you for coming. So there was not so long time he was here. That's good. And maybe he was like that when he lived, that he was very strict and come forward. No extra talking. I think he was like military. I say it now because I feel it. He was a military person. Not when he died, but he had been a military person. And now he was I think he was in the 50s. So, thank you for listening, and you know that God loves you, and all the heaven and heaven's host love you, or else they not coming here and talking to us if they don't love us. So that's so great, and God's grace that many people don't understand it, because many times people take it for granted that things happen, that they survive without thinking that was God's grace. Many don't wake up in the morning, but we have wake up this morning because of God's grace. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.